Well, today is gonna be an absolute scorcher, but I've got the day off for the federal holiday, Juneteenth, and that means that I'm going to do a full day in the life as a wildlife photographer here in the mid-coast of Maine, starting out with hitting up the local pond to try to capture some birds that might be flying around. I know there's gonna be some red-winged blackbirds. I would assume yellow warblers will be around the water itself. Belted kingfishers most likely be out there. We'll see if we get lucky. And then, excuse me, the thing that I'm really most after is a great blue heron. I just haven't been able to get a good shot of a great blue heron recently. So that's what the plan is for this morning. Later this afternoon, I'm gonna go hit up the trail camera that I got out on our acreage on the property here in the mid-coast, and then set up my photo blind out there because I've kind of got this desire to get a really good photograph of some whitetails that are back there. And now with the foliage and the vegetation all bloomed and grown here for the summer, I'm just wanting to capture a summertime image of some deer, and maybe we'll see some velvet as well. But that's the plan for right now. I'm just excited to get out there and have the day off. So let's go get onto the pond. Now, to be truthful with you all, it's extremely difficult to vlog while you're in a kayak because you can't really set up a tripod. I suppose I could have some type of, tripod attachment here to shoot back at me, but it's extremely difficult. Anyways, I brought my GoPro out here that I'm gonna strap to my chest to give you all a little bit of a point of view. And of course, I'll be checking in with you and let you know what's going on out there, what I'm seeing. But figured I would give this a try. Let me know down in the comments if you like the point of view while I'm on the kayak. It just gives a little bit different of a perspective, maybe more of a first-person perspective. So yeah, let me know. So I should probably explain what the plan is in more detail. Essentially, at the end of this pond, so I'm kayaking all the way down, there's just a marsh area that I know is going to be a good habitat for red-winged blackbirds and a few other different birds. And the plan would be just to get out there, sit in amongst the brush, and just wait for those birds to come close enough to perch and capture videos and photos. The plan also would be to scope out some of the shoreline grasses here, but it doesn't seem to look like there's any herons that are hanging out looking for any small fish. So I do see some bass jumping out of the water. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna keep heading down there and get set up in the location, and I'll check back in with you.
So as you can probably hear and see, for the last couple minutes I've just been shooting this one red-winged blackbird that's perched up on this bush here, and it just flew off as I started talking to the camera, but I got plenty of photos of them. Looks like they're calling off. There's another brush line right off to my right-hand side, as well as some more brush that's right back in this area. And I think the spot that I'm in right now is a great spot because it gives me access to these 3 different locations. Red-winged blackbirds don't seem to be too worried about me, so that's a good sign. I've already gotten some great keeper shots and video, but I do want to see if there's any of the yellow warblers jumping around, and see if we can capture some more diversity out here. The sun is starting to really shine down, and there's not a single cloud in the sky today, or maybe there's a little bit of haze. This morning it was absolutely beautiful though, watching all that dew get burned off in the morning. But now we're rising up in temperature, and well, I guess it's making for a little bit harsher shots, but there's still the red-winged blackbirds flying around, and I'm having some fun. But I think what I'm going to do is actually, there's a little path, see if I can point the camera, right this way, and it goes off to my right-hand side, and I think there's a beaver pond up there. It looks from the drone when I've flown it over that they've kind of dammed up that area, and I'm wondering if there's going to be any luck with some herons over there. The only problem would be is I'm going to make a lot of noise as I paddle right between this brush, but I think I'm going to give it a shot, so let's head over there.
All right, so I've kind of just been staying right where I came to this other little dammed up spot and debating whether I wanted to actually go up into this beaver pond. And I've been looking around, the red-winged blackbirds are flying around. If there was any herons here before I rolled up, I've certainly spooked them with all the noise that I've made. So not that I don't feel comfortable just walking up this little dam into this beaver pond, but I just don't want to risk all my camera gear right now. I actually didn't bring my waterproof bag. And I think if I just have chest waders or even hip waders, that'll be fine. The other approach that I've thought about is, now that I know that this is here, is to just come out here and get a set up stationary spot. That way I can put in more time if I'm just trying to capture some shots of heron. As I've been looking around, I've seen some small little bait fish in there, so it's certainly suitable habitat to come feed on for a heron. But for right now, I'm gonna head back where I came in and go get set up again over at the other spot and see if we can capture anything else. It's starting to heat up a little bit too, and I'm getting a little bit more hungry. I know it hasn't maybe been the longest of videos so far, but I've been out here for about an hour and a half, and I've gotten lucky. I've got some good shots. So it's what it's all about this morning, is just getting a few shots going and feeling good about the rest of the day. Turns out, after all the moving around that I did this morning, that the best spot for catching the red-winged blackbirds was just right in front of me. Let me show you here. So here I am set up, and in this bush, I know that the wide angle is making it look super far away, but it's probably about 20 yards. And that just turned out to be the best spot. I don't know why I was trying to overthink things, but I definitely am satisfied with the video and the photos that I got. Just hanging out at this one little tree bush here. I think what's gonna happen now is I'm gonna head back to the house, clean out my kayak, and we'll regroup there and get you some more information on the rest of the day. This has been, a beautiful start to the day. It's gonna reach a high of 93 today, so I'm happy that the next task for the day will be in the woods, where there's a little bit more shade. So, see you in a moment. All right, well, she's all cleaned up now. I'm gonna go in, grab some breakfast and some coffee. The plan for this afternoon, like I mentioned earlier, is gonna be setting up my photography blind out in the acreage that we have behind our house. I checked the trail camera a couple days ago, and I would assume that there's gonna be some more footage of the deer back there, but I wanna get the photography blind set up at a spot where I might be able to spend just a lot of time. I, believe it or not, have yet to get footage of deer in my backyard here. So I'm a little bit on a mission now to make that happen, especially with all the vegetation filled in. It really makes for kind of a wooded forest, I guess, ambiance look that I want to capture. And it's a little bit shaded, or it's a lot shaded for today. Right now I think it's about 80, 85 degrees, and it's only going to get higher from here, up to like 93 like I said. But that's the plan. Get all the footage loaded up, charge up my batteries, and we'll get out there. So I'll see you in a bit once I am recharged myself. Well, afternoon folks. I'm already dripping sweat just having walked down here, but as I was walking down, we have these creek beds with all the rain runoff flows down into this Maine creek and then out towards the St. George River. And I noticed in some of the wet spots and the damp spots that there's some deer tracks that look relatively fresh, maybe in the last couple of days or so. So that's a great sign. A lot of the trail that I had, I'm gonna have to weed whack it again and clear out the trail a little bit because it's growing so fast. And as you can see, it's absolutely gorgeous. The spot that I'm perched up at is kind of the high point of this open area, and this provides a great spot to see further out. But I'm interested in checking out a new spot today. I have the trail camera set up about maybe 50 yards off to my left here, and it's been capturing some great images and video of the whitetails that are roaming around. So I'm wondering if I'm gonna have a good opportunity or a better chance of getting some video and photos if I'm gonna set my photo blind up down there closer to where my trail camera is. It does minimize somewhat of the vantage point and the view that I have. So if I can find a good spot down there, I'll get set up. If not, I'll probably stay up here so I have a better view vantage point. But I want to be close. I want to get kind of down to eye level and not so much shoot down at the deer as this I guess high point on the property provides. So let's go check out the trail camera and see what we got. Well, I'll be damned. It looks like we got a doe and fawn captured on here, and it looks like there might be a couple clips. A few of them, I can't see any movement, so I'm wondering if that's from them walking close to the trail camera or right after they've walked past the trail camera. But we'll head up into the office after this and take a closer look, but that's a great sign. Now, a lot of these clips, they're walking this direction, so uphill. It also makes it a little bit easier for me to kind of sneak down here and not spook them too much if they are coming from that direction when I get my photo blind all set up. I'm gonna scope this area right now and see if we can find a flat spot that's gonna give me a good look down this. We are a little bit of a ravine, so that's a little bit tricky, but this is a great sign, and I can't wait to share these the fawn and some of the other deer clips that are on here. I didn't see any other animals, but we'll take a closer look up in the office. So here we are. This is the trail that they seem to be liking, and this is the ravine off to my right-hand side, and up here it's a little bit flatter on my left. If this is the trail that they're used to walking, it goes about maybe 75 yards off back into the brush, and that gives me a good eye line to stick within if I can find a location right around here to set up the blind at. Like I said, I don't want to be shooting down at them. I think something eye level would be great, especially if I could get lucky with capturing some of the footage of the fawn. I want to be as low as possible. This might be a little bit tricky because we've got our trail right here, and then I've got these two trees as well as this brush or this kind of overgrown tree blocking my view of all of the right-hand side. Over across the way here, it's more inclined, but I'd be tucked down, have this one fallen tree that's gonna provide a little bit more camouflage. I also still have a great point of view off to my left or off to the right-hand side from here, but from my photography shooting off to the left, there's this little kind of hill, the ravine, the creek bed running through it, that if anything's coming over that creek or over that hill, I'd be able to intercept it. Yeah, this spot's gonna do. As you can see, this is the tree limb that I was just referring to, and it's come down here. I might need to cut away some of these other branches so I am not blocked by these branches when I'm shooting out this way, but off to this direction, which if I'm in my blind, will be off to the left-hand side, there's a nice clear opening. So anything that's coming this way will get intercepted off to my left. And straight out from me, I've got a much wider view that I can see anything that might be trotting along, hopefully a doe and her fawn. The hill does drop off again, probably about 65 yards out, where there's a tree line that I wouldn't be able to see anything, but just imagine the excitement of seeing a doe and her fawn poking the head up right 65 yards out from you. That would be very epic. So this is looking like a good spot. It also prevents me from having to cut away trees that are still growing. I can just cut out some of this dead brush, clear out some of these ferns, find a flat enough base to set up my blind at, and give it a couple days. But yeah, let's use this spot and we'll get set up now. And since I didn't bring anything more efficient, I'm just using an old pocket knife. Clear out like a good square, be positioned right, leave a little bit of brush here to help with the camouflage, and go from there. You would think that I had thrown water on my shirt, but this is indeed sweat. I probably won't come out here on a 93 and 100% humidity day. Let's stick to the mornings maybe. I don't know how much longer I can stay out here given how hot it is, but I wanted to show you the vantage point that we have from the blind right now. I will need to cut back this dead tree branches, but once that's gone, it's gonna be a perfect vantage point for capturing, hopefully, fingers crossed, some deer, and double fingers crossed, a fawn. I'm also gonna use this spot for my next vlog. I'm gonna put in a good amount of hours at this little clearing in just hopes that I finally can capture some deer on my property. So with that said, if you're watching this and you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing to see more wildlife vlogs just like this, as well as hitting the like button. All of those, minuscule things definitely help the algorithm and get more exposure for us here on this channel. But yeah, I'm sweating through my shirt right now. I'm gonna head back up to the house, take a quick shower. I'll meet you in the office so we can take a closer look and see some of the footage that we've been getting on the trail camera. Well, it certainly feels great to have showered and freshened up after that long day with that heat. 93 degrees isn't so bad. I used to live in Texas and 93 degrees was just, 10 a.m. in the morning, but this was the first heat wave that we've seen up in the Northeast, and I've certainly acclimatized to the Northeast temperatures. But yeah, with that all being said, I've been taking a look at the trail camera, and man, earlier in the video today, I said I was hoping to see some velvet, and we did see some velvet in this video today. In this first shot of this buck slowly walking towards the trail camera, I think it's just the buck, and he looks directly at the trail camera, almost as if they can hear them. I swear that these deer can hear the trail camera trigger on, but he checks it out, continues to meander his way around, and then just turns around. Didn't want to risk anything, but that was really cool to see that buck walk towards the trail camera. And I just know that if I was out there in my photography blind, I would have the perfect shot right at him to be able to capture some great video and photos. Yeah, and then he just turns around and slowly walks back to wherever he came from. So that was really cool to see that. The other thing that I'm looking at with these videos from the trail cam is what time of day they're from. So this first one of the buck itself came back in June 1st at 7:40 a.m. So that was what, 18 days ago? I guess, deer, they can travel miles and miles in a day, so it's not really indicative that they're gonna be out when I'm going out, but it's good news that in the last couple of weeks, a buck has been around. So that's really cool to see. And then the time of day at 7:40 a.m. A lot of the footage that we're looking at today, it's all in that morning time. So that just tells me that I can get out there maybe around 5:30 a.m. and allow them to slowly make their way towards me where I'll be set up to capture some video. So that's really, really cool. Now, the next one that I mentioned out in the field is the doe. So in this first video, we can see just the single doe. I don't see any other movement. And then all of a sudden, in the next clip, we can see that she is followed by her fawn. How cool of a capture is that? This was a couple weeks ago as well on June 6th, but again, right around that early morning time period when they seem to be active, around 7:25 in the morning. So that's great, and a lot of these shots are actually from that time period. So we have some on June 5th, and then 2 days later on June 7th, look who it is again. It's the doe with her fawn slowly making her way, just foraging around, looking for food. And that is really, really great to see. It's almost like that fawn just kind of appears right behind her mother, and then we can get a great shot of the fawn just slowly starting to follow mom and looking for some food to forage on. Really great capture, and this is the luxury of having a trail camera out there. It's so hard to get these moments caught on my real camera with my big telephoto lens, but having this trail camera as a tool to use to not only prepare you and set you up with some shots potential, but also just seeing them in and of itself on the trail camera is really a cool experience as well. And one day later on June 8th, here she is again, followed right behind with her fawn. And this clip's actually really cool because she's eating that leaf right off the tree branch that's right in front of the trail camera. So I keep saying the word epic, but this is really epic to see, and her fawn just slowly walking off, doing her thing or his thing. So that's what we're doing this for. So again, with all of this trail cam footage that I'm showing right now, this has got me a little bit of the FOMO mentality where I feel like I'm missing out on the potential out there. So right now it's Wednesday. I think what I'm gonna do is just get out there this weekend and see if we can get any captures going. Of course, I'm going to vlog it like I always do. So with that said, again, if you're not currently subscribed, definitely subscribe to see that next vlog that I'll be posting real soon. And Again, hitting the like button definitely helps the algorithm, and getting these videos in front of other like-minded people that are into wildlife photography and videography. And lastly, what I'll say is just thank you so much for watching these videos. It really means a lot to have people view it. It takes a lot of work to put into making these vlogs for you all, but I truly enjoy it. If you'd like to say an extra thanks, you can certainly hit the thanks button down there and leave a small monetary tip. Every dollar just goes right back into making videos here, whether it's, again, fixing camera gear or buying more camera gear, or just paying for gas to help me get from one site to another. It all means so much to me, and I thank you very much for your support. But with all of this said, and these trail camera videos, I will just say thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you very soon for that next upcoming whitetail deer vlog. Keep your fingers crossed for me.